welcome back to the 90th minute. We are your hosts. We got myself, Liam, Lucas, Greg. Co-host Waz is not with us today, but that is more than okay.
Yeah.
It's a midweek episode, as you can tell. The table is clear. We're just going to go for a brief rundown of the midweek fixtures, particularly in the Premier League, but we're also going to cover some transfer activity.
We'll talk about a London derby. We'll read Waz's thoughts on the Manchester United match.
I wonder why Waz isn't here right now.
Yeah, Waz is just depressed.
We'll talk about the party in Ibiza.
Party in Ibiza. But yes, like Lucas said, we're going to kick it off with a London derby. Chelsea versus Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. This game is a bit of a mess.
Yeah?
Start to finish, just a mess.
You could say it's fraudulent.
Why is it fraudulent?
Both teams are frauds.
There's a lot of teams that could be considered frauds this year in the Premier League, but
you could say that maybe about 17 clubs.
Potentially. But if we kick it off this game, there's a big talking point rather early on we must start with.
David Luiz.
David Luiz gets a straight red,
First, returns to Stamford Bridge.
He does, yes.
And then gets a red card.
It's not really
It's not his
fault,
though. I
He's
agree.
sold very short by Mustafi.
It is his fault to some extent for getting a red card.
He could have just let it be a goal.
Mustafi passes back to his keeper, but the ball doesn't get anywhere halfway to where it needs to be. So David Luiz is rushing back. Tammy Abraham picks up the ball. Looks to be clean through on net. David Luiz goes through his back.
Well, kind of through the side in my...
Through his back. It's a red card.
He wrapped his leg around him. So.
It's a red.
Yeah.
Deserving red. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It
We're all
would have been a goal.
What, Lucas?
Technically, it's yes.
Okay.
Technically, it's not a bad challenge or anything. It's just
a goal-scoring opportunity.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly.
So Tammy Abraham, like I said, he goes through, gets taken out. Red card for David Luiz. He's off after 20, 25 minutes.
It was in the 26th minute. Or
20, 25 minutes.
Somewhere around there.
Around that moment. But then Mr. Jorginho steps up.
The penalty
Or
taker.
he hops up because the man does a weird leap before he takes a penalty kick.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan
Slots
of that.
it in the bottom corner.
He's very good at penalties. I just don't like his run-up. It's like Paul Pogba bullshit.
His run-up sort of makes it seem obvious where he's going to go, but then...
The last second, he kind of goes other side.
No, not the other side. He just places it well in this case. In a lot of matches, he doesn't place it that well, but the keeper goes the other way.
He put it pretty good in the corner. So
it was nice into the corner, like you said. Yeah, so 1-0 Chelsea. Jorginho with the penalty. The game moves on. And you know what? I thought Chelsea were a much better team in the first half.
I mean, they were definitely dominant on the ball. 11 versus 10. What do you expect?
I mean, yes.
They should be. So
and Arsenal were playing Xhaka at center back.
The Xhaka Mustafi center back pairing. I saw a tweet. It was like,
wow.
The entire history of Arsenal Football Club is leading up to this moment. Arsene Wenger, every single player they've ever had. This is the pinnacle of Arsenal right here.
You guys had Martin Keown, Adams,
Sol
Campbell. You've had even Koscielny was a good
even
player in his day.
Mertesacker,
Now Xhaka, who is a midfielder, and Mustafi playing center back in a match. Because what choices do you have?
Rob Holding, who's not better.
I don't know. He's had injuries. So.
Yeah.
It was a rough scenario to be in. So.
I mean, Arteta had to decide, did he want to bring on another defender or did he want to have some of his attacking players on the field?
He didn't make a substitution after the red card. He left it and he said, you know what? We're going to try to actually go on and win this game, which is, honorable by Arteta. A little bit, maybe you might think a little stupid, but, it's something that Arsenal feel they could score goals against Chelsea. So they said, let's not sacrifice our goal-scoring threat for defensive solidarity. So it's interesting to see. But
for the longest time throughout the match, just Chelsea had the ball. They created some chances, but they weren't deadly. Like they didn't have that killer instinct. They had, I don't know. It was a little soft in my opinion.
It's interesting you bring up the words killer instinct because that's what Frank Lampard said his side lacked in this game was that killer instinct, that final kind of. That's
what they needed. You can hold on to the ball as long as you want, but if you're not gonna
do anything with it, who cares?
Exactly.
You can having possession is good, but possession can also be bad if you don't do anything with
positive possession. Yeah. 55th minute, Lucas comes off the field. Mesut Ozil gets subbed off.
Oh,
you are Lucas. You.
I don't.
Lucas
Matteo Guendouzi comes on to replace him. And only a few minutes later, 63rd minute, Chelsea have a penalty. Chelsea have a corner. And then they don't. The ball goes the length of the field, right up the middle. Martinelli. So he gets a little lucky.
Who was it that slipped?
N'Golo Kante had a Steven Gerrard moment.
N'Golo Kante.
Yeah, he had a Slippy G moment.
I felt
Right?
bad for him.
That's the thing I saw. It was like, you laugh at that Chelsea player for slipping, but then you find out it's N'Golo Kante and you feel bad. It's like, yeah. But yeah, Kante slips center circle. Martinelli's through on goal, one-on-one with the keeper. Very calmly and coolly slots it home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was,
Is this the man Arsenal can rely on for the next few years?
I don't know because I've only seen such small samples of him. He scored a lot of goals in competitions outside the Premier
Yeah.
League, but this is a chance he should be taking.
He seems like a decent talent, though. He's got pace, he's got size, he's got some strength to him. He seems to be able to take a finish.
he's been inconsistent, though.
He has, but he is still a young player.
Yeah.
I think Arsenal in general have been inconsistent. But this is someone that maybe they can look at and say, hey, we're not, if Aubameyang and Lacazette are not able, we have at least an option up front, right?
I know there were some stats that popped up that was like from United fans who were probably annoyed at Arsenal fans saying that Martinelli's better than Greenwood, and they just put some
Yeah.
negative stats out there.
Yeah.
But like when you watch him, he does look promising. He has
100%.
It was a good run and a good finish.
It was.
Not just that though. Like I guess towards later in the match, you could see like he was trying to create some chances, trying to get into good spaces. Like positive things that you want to see from a young player.
But I think this goal kind of came against the run of form because Chelsea looked to be getting a bit more into the match.
You mean run of play?
Run of play, run of form, whatever you want to call it.
I would say run of play.
Okay, run of play. Chelsea seemed to be getting more into the match. It looked
Form
like
would be over.
Oh my
games.
god! Sorry, the grammar police is out. Jesus.
It's not even grammar.
I don't know what to say.
But Chelsea looked to be more likely to score a second than it was for Arsenal to tie it up. So it's a huge sway of momentum.
It's also Arsenal's first shot of the match.
Yeah, it was. Arsenal were not in the game for the first half an hour.
And
For
who
the first hour.
got
of
who
the game.
got the assist?
Who got the assist? I don't know.
I heard it was Mustafi.
It is Mustafi. You're correct. Mustafi has more assists than Jesse Lingard. You love to see it.
Poor United.
Chelsea make their changes after that goal. Ross Barkley, Mason Mount, and Michy Batshuayi coming on. Rob Holding does eventually make an appearance for Nicolas Pepe. But in the 84th minute, Dave looks like he's won the game for Chelsea.
He's done it a few
Cesar
times.
Azpilicueta. Ball's coming in off the corner. He just seems to land at him. Slots it home under the keeper. It's a good finish.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Dave, good finish.
And Arsenal, they sub on Rob Holding before that
Yes.
to protect the lead. It doesn't help at
No,
all.
it does not.
But don't worry. This is Score Every Shot FC.
Pretty much.
So yeah, later in the, I guess, yeah.
5 minutes after that, the ball goes to the other end. It's not even 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Hector Bellerin, the other Spanish fullback, he goes, listen,
You can score. I can.
Kepa's crap. I'm going to put one past him. Curling effort, back post.
With his weak foot.
With
no
his
less.
weak foot,
It was-
I think Kepa should have got something on it. Gotta be honest. It was a great finish. It was well placed, but Kepa has to be doing better there.
I mean, if he was a few inches taller,
Yeah.
he would have gotten a touch.
I don't know. I'm not sold on Kepa right now.
I mean, after you read that stat, your mind completely changes.
Yes, take a look at our TikTok or our last episode for that stat about Kepa Arrizabalaga.
Arrizabalaga.
It's an interesting last name.
Well, I
Why
mean,
is his
Kepa.
Instagram? Why is Instagram not just Kepa? It's Kepa Arrizabalaga. Who is spelling that out to search him? Nobody. Kepa, change your Instagram. I don't like it.
it's his name. You're gonna.
Just put Kepa.
That's like me telling you to change your Instagram from Liam Peace to.
My last name is not Arrizabalaga.
Yeah, but it's his name. It means a lot to
Even
his,
you don't use your full last name.
because.
Yeah. Because it's too long to spell. Am I wrong?
No. Well,
Yeah. There you go. Thank you. Case closed. Shut up. We're moving on.
I can't believe I got beat by
Wow.
Liam.
Yeah.
I think Liam actually tore you
Yeah.
apart there.
He did. I'm shook.
If we look at the stats for this match, Chelsea had damn near 60% possession. They also had a total of 19 chances, 8 on target, to Arsenal's 2 chances, 2 on target.
2 goals.
2 goals. Now, Chelsea, we saw this again with them in the weekend fixture. They had possession, couldn't convert. Here they are again, having possession, having the chances, not converting. Tammy Abraham seems to be not scoring. Hudson-Odoi is not scoring. Williams not scoring.
Pulisic is out.
Pulisic is out.
To be fair to Hudson-Odoi, he's been playing better in recent weeks.
Yeah, it's...
But he's not scoring.
You need
But he's not a goal scorer. He's a winger.
Yeah, but you will rely... Oh,
the thing is,
Chelsea
ever since Tammy Abraham went out of form,
Yeah.
that's when they've started to look not
Chelsea
score
need
as
to
many
rely
goals.
on their wingers to chip in with some goals because their midfield's not exactly a goal-scoring midfield.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Jorginho is a penalty taker. That's the only way he gets goals. And N'Golo Kante is more of a defensive midfielder. Kovacic does what Kovacic does.
But none of them are, for sure.
Ross Barkley
They're
shouldn't be
not
at Chelsea.
players that are just going to go bang a goal every game.
No, they're not. They're not a goal-scoring
It's not
midfield.
a Kevin De Bruyne.
And Mason Mount is
Not
very
many people
young.
Mason
He's
Mount is still someone that's, he's learning the Premier League, right?
Chelsea just can't put on Frank Lampard on the field.
They would like
If
to.
only.
But,
Boys, I'm coming on.
I actually heard the commentator during the match say Chelsea just need a Frank Lampard right now.
Okay, yeah.
They-
team would like
No,
a
no,
Frank
Frank
Lampard.
But they need a goal-scoring midfielder. That's what they need.
Yeah, but
They can't rely on just a center forward who's not. He's also young. How old is Tammy Abraham?
22?
Yeah.
So the hopes and
It's a
dreams
young
of this
kid.
top 6 club is on a 22-year-old who's brand new to the Premier League.
Yeah, he's been doing he's scored a lot of goals this season.
He's been very good for them this year, but he needs some help. He needs the wingers. I know Pulisic was scoring when he was back when he was fit.
He was
but,
doing okay.
he was scoring more than Willian has and Hudson-Odoi.
I mean, you got to give credit to Willian. He's been
He's been not bad this year.
It's pretty good.
Not terrible.
inconsistent, you could say, but still.
But for Arsenal, is this potentially hey, you know what? 2 chances, 2 goals. We're deadly in front of net.
No.
No, they're not.
Arsenal, they still have only 1 win with Mikel Arteta.
Yes.
And that was against Manchester United.
This is a great result for Arsenal considering the
it's big
circumstances.
points, yeah.
But it's not what you want to see still.
But yet again, for Chelsea, they're still a top 4 side, but their results have been piss poor.
Yeah, if you look at Chelsea's results without looking at the table, you'd be shocked at
Frank Lampard has lost 8 games,
Yeah.
and they're top 4. How?
Arsenal's lost less games.
How
How is this? Yes, I know they haven't drawn that many games. That's their big thing.
Yeah.
But they've lost 8 matches this season. It's ridiculous,
Yeah, it's
How many of them are at home? Probably a lot.
A lot of them.
So-
I mean, I know it doesn't really mean much, but if you look at their goals for and goals against average, 1.7 goals for, and their 1.3 goals against. That's too many goals to be conceding if you're a top 4 side.
I mean, yeah, it's on par with most of the teams below them, except for Sheffield United, who are obviously very good defensively. It's just crazy that Chelsea are still significantly
race.
clear of top 4.
Yeah, it says a lot about
It just shows
the Premier League right now.
how close the Premier League is this season.
Well, it's not even close. It's 6 points difference between Chelsea and 5th, and
Because 5th is Manchester United. We all know how
But I mean,
Manchester
like the
United are.
mid-table battle.
now this is before Liverpool play Wolves, and Wolves could defeat Liverpool.
Yes.
And jump
yes.
up.
And they'd be only 3 points behind Chelsea.
You would
which
hope
be
that
incredible.
doesn't happen.
Hey, it'd be great for the Premier League top 4 race, but I hope we don't lose.
If we look at the Arsenal lineup, though, yes, they are missing Aubameyang because of his suspension. But, the front 4, we always look at the front 4 of Arsenal as someone being very attack-minded. Pepe, Ozil, Martinelli, and Lacazette. When Aubameyang comes back, yes, I know he's the best player at the club. Yes, he is the best player that
The main
Arsenal have
man,
ever had. Not ever had, sorry. That they have right now. Do they drop Martinelli? He's been in decent form this past few games.
I think I'm not sure if Arsenal fans think this, but I think you could potentially drop Lacazette. He's not. I know there's a few matches
His
he's
work
working
rate?
very hard, but
Yeah.
there's also quite a few matches where he's just not
in it.
offering anything
He's
offensively
got
or not
5
enough.
goals,
He's
2
not in
assists
it.
in 17 matches he's played so far this year.
And in the recent matches, it just something seems off about him.
Yeah.
Just missing something, yeah.
Maybe it's just confidence because strikers they need goals, and without goals, their confidence is shot.
Yeah.
Like we,
You see Danny
I like how
Ings.
Lucas always says that Ozil is one of the most, influential in terms of assists and goal scoring chances.
I mean, you know why he
I'm
likes
not
Ozil.
He's got 1 assist this season. That's it.
I mean, when your attackers aren't scoring like Lacazette, what can you do?
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying don't be in love with
Look,
Ozil that much.
look, I can say Ozil was not good in this match, but it's hard to play well when you have 10 men.
Yeah.
Especially when you're not wanting to track back and defend. But
Or not as much as you need, I guess, in this case.
Sure.
Now the thing is, is Aubameyang back next match?
I think he misses one more.
Yeah,
Or more. So David Luiz is
But
out now as
Yeah.
well.
Is it the FA Cup match that they missed then?
no,
Or is it just only
I
Premier
mean just
League?
Premier League. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
I'm not 100% on that, but I'm
I don't
fairly
know.
sure.
yeah. So it's not ideal time for Arsenal, but then again, you have to be patient as long as you don't get relegated.
Yeah. Chelsea, they are, after that result, they are 4th on 40 points. And Arsenal are up to 10th on 30 points. So a 10-point gap between these two clubs.
That's bad.
That's shocking. Like, Arsenal are down there with Southampton and Crystal Palace. Like, oh, boys, that's a rough time.
That's the thing. You got to be Arsenal has to be happy with that result, but it's at the same time it's just wow.
I mean, before they scored that goal to tie the match,
Oh, it was
they were
brutal.
in bottom half.
Yeah. So my question is, do we stick with the Tuesday matches or do we go to a Wednesday match?
I mean, we can go to whatever you want, Liam.
Liam picks
it's a
the next
toss-up
match.
right now in my mind. It's either going to be Everton Newcastle or United Burnley.
Let's just talk about United Burnley because that's more recent on our minds.
Manchester United fall 2-0 to Burnley at Old Trafford. Burnley's first win at Old Trafford since the mid-60s.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Also-
Absolutely shocking by Manchester United.
I don't know if this is 100% true, but apparently that's Burnley's first half goal since November 9th.
Yes, it is, yeah.
That just shows United right now. Like, jeez.
And this is United's worst season ever right now? Or like, I know people were
United
saying
are-
worst start, but it's already 23 matches in. That's not really a start.
United are just crap. Like,
It-
well, Waz sent us a statement, and we'll read it out. Well, I want to talk about our 3 opinions first and our views on this match because, quite frankly, we look at a Manchester United club that has no identity, has no play style, has players who should not be playing for this club, has a manager who seems to be clueless at the top, has a board that has no idea what they're doing. The entire club is just in shambles.
Yeah, and I mean, they did create a few chances in the first half that they didn't take advantage of, which kind of shows, kind of similar with Chelsea, a little soft in the attack,
Well, then again, United are missing Marcus Rashford. He's going to be out for 2 or 3 months.
It's a key player missing.
That's their main player. His goals have been so influential for the team. Where the hell is their goals going to come from? Daniel James has barely scored this season.
Well, as of late, especially.
As of late, Jesse Lingard can't hit the net.
Didn't do anything. Hey, he did hit the net. It's terrible. It was no.
Anthony Martial is so hit or miss. The guy's, I don't like his work ethic.
I feel like
be honest.
I feel like up front though, he doesn't have any support.
I'm
there.
not sold on Anthony Martial. Other than his debut, name me the biggest moment Martial has for United.
Did he not score like an important goal to send United to the FA Cup final one year?
Potentially.
I don't know if I remember.
But it's
know.
for someone who's been there now for what, 4 seasons, 5
He
seasons.
hasn't been that
He hasn't
player.
been the what United once said was a future Ballon d'Or winner. That's what they called him when he first came from Monaco. This is the future Ballon d'Or winner. No, he hasn't been influential for me. He's had moments where he's looked good, but he's had a way more moments where he's looked
He
shaky.
plays a lot better when Rashford's playing with him, though.
Is that Rashford bringing him up a little bit, or is that just their partnership?
Well,
Could be a bit of both.
When you have a talented player along you, it's
Yeah.
it's easier to have a good partnership with them. And when that person goes away, it's more difficult if players don't have good synchronicity with you. I don't know if that works.
We'll get more into the transfer news later on in the episode. United need to sign a goal scorer.
Yeah, it's
I know they've been linked with
Something's
Moussa
missing.
Dembele, but
Everyone's seeming like they're getting linked with Moussa Dembele.
he's a great goal scorer, Lucas.
You love the man.
He's great.
I remember his first season at Lyon. He just kept, whenever he messed up, I just sent videos to you of him, and you got pissed off.
Because you were writing off a generational talent. That's a future Ballon d'Or right there.
Yes, Martial did get a game winner against Everton in the FA Cup semi-final in 2016.
You love to see it. But
Well done for Anthony Martial.
the actual match, let's talk about that.
Yeah, so
Christopher Wood, big man. He scores in the 39th minute. He's having a fantastic goal-scoring year.
are you really?
Yes. He's got 10 goals this season.
That's not bad.
It's
pretty
not
good.
bad. The big Kiwi up front, you love it. But I mean, for Burnley, 10 goals this season is pretty
That's good.
decent.
I mean, that could be what keeps you up and what sends you down.
100%. And then later on in the match, in the 56th minute, the goal of the week. Whew. Jay Rodriguez with an absolute thunderbolt off the crossbar down into the net. David De Gea is left flapping.
Poor David.
Get off the pitch.
Yeah, it was not looking good.
Virgil
for
made him
Manchester
look like
United.
an absolute wet napkin midweek. Here's big Jay Rodriguez going, I got you, big man.
Yeah.
Love it.
Liam, Jay Rodriguez is an interesting player. You know, former Southampton player.
Yes.
Was in the championship last season, if I'm not mistaken, with
Could
West
be.
Brom.
Didn't follow the championship that much last season.
Yeah, last season he was in the Premier League.
Yeah, but he's a guy. I think he's had several injuries, but it's good to see that he's a great goal for him. I don't know if
Yeah.
he's having a great
He's
season
got
or not.
four goals this season.
It's not too bad.
Not great, but hey. he's
Any
doing his
amount of
thing.
goals is better than some players.
Doing
so.
his thing. You know, he works hard more on the to win the ball back.
I mean, you have to expect that from players on Burnley.
Exactly. You know, he's not going to have a exceptional in front of goal record, but he's going to work hard off the ball, chase down, win.
When you're that
win the ball
lower,
back.
when you're the lower teams, you want your players to
Work hard.
fight for
Yeah.
the ball.
Did Burnley not make any subs?
Do they need to?
I guess not.
I don't think Burnley were ever actually really tested this game. I
second
gotta
half,
be honest.
second half especially, it's very one of those matches where it's just a team desperate to get a goal, but they have no ideas, and it just keeps going across into the
Yeah.
box and keeps
Here's-
getting to the defender's head and cleared
Here's
out.
my favorite
And
stat.
I mean, when you got Luke Shaw and Jesse Lingard as
Yeah.
your like subs coming on at the same
Yeah.
time, like that's
And
Not great.
that's rough.
And Wan-Bissaka he's a great defender, but he's showing that he's not that great
going
offensively.
forward. He's got 1 foot. If he gets onto his left foot, he's got no ideas.
There's like one dangerous cross he had, I think, in the first half. It wasn't really that great of
It was
a
like the
cross, but
Pereira,
I watched.
yeah,
There was a moment in the
much,
second half later on where he had a chance to cut it onto his left and possibly take a shot or to whip the ball in. We went back onto his right and got pushed out of bounds with it. It's like, Aaron, you're a Manchester United
Aaron.
player. Use both feet.
I mean, there's a lot of players in
There is.
football.
It's shocking that you get to the top level of football, they can't use both feet.
Mm-hmm,
But favorite stat of the night: United, 72% possession, 7 shots on goal, nothing.
Yeah.
I wonder if Ole has made his comments already about the match.
Yes,
Ole-
this just happened
Ole will say something like, "Oh, we were great.
an
We-
hour
we-
ago.
we-
Finished an hour ago.
We loved
no?
our press. We loved our intensity."
Do you want Rio Ferdinand's comment?
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't see a 600 million squad out there. What has been bought? I'm sitting up here and I'm embarrassed. People at the top need to make changes. You can't defend this.
100%.
It is ridiculous, and which we talked about.
We can go on to this conversation for literal hours because honestly, I think it's one of my most interesting topics in football is how has this club disintegrated so quickly?
It's not so quickly. It's been happening for years.
But
But Lucas, in terms of recruitment, there's been no talents coming through.
When you don't have the right guys hired,
Yeah, that's the big thing. Ed Woodward needs to get the hell out of there. The Glazers need to figure out a way. The Glazers are the owners of Manchester United. They need to figure out a way to get someone in there who can successfully rebuild this club.
Yeah.
Because it's a full rebuild at this point.
do you want to read Waz's comment then?
Yeah, I can read Waz's one. So Waz sent this to us right after the match finished. He's at work, so unfortunately he couldn't make it. But he says, I have tried to defend Ole as much as I can, but after this match, it has made it clear once again that he is not fit to manage Manchester United. His tactics are what? Get into the final third and then just pass the ball anywhere and hope it gets to the player? He has no style of play and is so rarely shown that his team selection is also questionable, with playing the likes of Jones and Pereira. Only player I enjoyed watching today was Brandon Williams, who looks extremely composed for his age. The way I see it is Ole has become a better manager at his time in Manchester United, but he's not capable of rebuilding a club of this stature. It's clear we are a mid-table quality side. Andreas Pereira to me was shocking. There was moments in the match where Mata made runs and he to the left where he opened up, but he decided to go for net instead, and the ball ended up in row Z. And said, I can go on with how many issues United have, but remember all these problems stem from the hierarchy, which I agree with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some comments from Ole after the match. He said, we hold our hands up. It wasn't good enough. The boys are giving everything they've got. We're still 5th in the table.
I don't think the boys are giving everything they have. Yes, it's not a good enough side, but you're telling me these players are not capable of beating a mid to bottom side Burnley?
This is Manchester United. They need to be winning that.
Luke Shaw's getting paid £150,000 a week.
You like mentioning that a lot.
Because it's staggering to me. I think he spends it all on McDonald's because the man's fat. I'm fat. I'm not playing for Manchester United. If I'm getting paid that money week in, week out to play for one of the biggest clubs in the history of football, I'm not looking like Luke Shaw. Am I wrong?
I don't know, Liam.
Like,
You're not in that position, so...
We keep looking at Jesse Lingard's stats of no goals, no assists in the Premier League, and we laugh at it. But the shocking point is, not only is he still a Manchester United player, he's consistently getting play time.
No, but I gotta agree though. I think Williams is just much better.
Brandon Williams has been very good this season.
He was very good.
So my thing is, get Shaw out of there. He's not good enough.
It's not that easy to
He's
get.
not good enough. Send him to Inter Milan. They'll take him. They need all the left backs in the world, it seems.
You're not wrong.
Like,
Just United.
you played for United, you're left back, get in there.
Go to Inter. Well, speaking of that, it's like, would Lukaku help this team
100%.
right now? Yeah.
100%. Yes, Lukaku had an iffy year last year, but he's still someone you can rely on to get a dozen goals.
I don't think he had a good relationship with Ole, at least. It didn't seem like it was a good relationship. He wasn't performing to the best of his abilities, and now he's with a manager that he loves, and he's performing.
In terms of Lukaku, he made one of the best moves of his life. He got out of the shithole that is United into a very young and attack-sided
And he's doing well.
Inter Milan, who are doing well in Champions League and in Serie A.
But with United, it's like kind of like Chelsea. Like with United doing so badly, but they're still 6 points behind top 4, which is not like with how they're performing. You'd think they'd be like 15 behind.
And I keep seeing Roy Keane's comparison of you keep giving. They want to keep giving Frank Lampard time because he's a Chelsea player and he's gonna rebuild that club. Why don't you give the time to Ole? Well, quite frankly, I don't think I would have given the time to Frank Lampard either. I would have got someone else in. But you know what? Frank Lampard is getting decent results with, I think, on paper at least, a poorer club, a poorer side.
Outside of their midfield.
Their midfield is very good. You're correct.
Yeah.
But Manchester United have the world's most expensive defender, one of Europe's top goalkeepers, a generational talent in Marcus Rashford.
I thought you were going to say Paul Pogba.
I don't even consider him a United player at this point. Because
Yeah,
the guy hasn't played for how long? He doesn't want to be there. The club's refusing to sell him supposedly, and he just wants to get anywhere other than United.
Yeah, United should look at what Liverpool did. Liverpool sold Coutinho, invested in good players.
You have to. You,
Like-
you can't keep someone there who, yes,
Does
they
not
may
wanna
be
play
good,
there.
but they don't want to be there. If they don't want to fit into your side, they're not going to work for you.
Christian Eriksen's
It's
situation.
not like one day Paul Pogba's going to go, you know what? I like Manchester. It's beautiful. I love the rain. I'm going to play here for Ole. No. The guy's going to want to go back to Turin or go to Barcelona or wherever the hell he wants to go.
Madrid.
Much nicer place to live, I'd assume.
I mean, I've never.
I have
been
never
there.
been to either Madrid or Manchester, but I'd assume Madrid's nicer. Just saying.
Yeah.
But let's take a look at the United starting 11, because quite frankly, it just hurts my head. Phil Jones. Phil Jones.
You need to rest Lindelof. He's been playing so much.
Phil Jones should not be at this team, Lucas.
I'm pretty
The
sure.
man is Stoke quality. And that's a rude thing to say about Stoke. Did you
It's
see the,
always Stoke.
Did you see the tweet Burger King sent out?
What?
Some guy sent a tweet to Burger King saying, "Will you please take Luke Shaw?" And Burger King says, "What says we'll hire him?" When Burger King doesn't want you, Luke Shaw, you know there's a problem.
You're being overly harsh, in my opinion, to Luke Shaw.
About this not our team, they're crap. This is a bad United.
It's not great.
We
know
the
it's
players are bad. The bench is bad. Ole doesn't seem to have a clue where the hell he's going here. He has no play style, no drive, no ambition. The club hierarchy is just going, oh, we're United. That should win us games. No.
Now, the thing is, last year, they got rid of Mourinho, right?
Poor
and
choice, my mind.
Brought in Ole, though, and they started getting results from it.
There's a bounce.
Does it happen here?
There's always a bounce.
Should Ole resign or should he be sacked? Ole out is trending.
Ole out's always trending.
Or does he stay?
Well, I mean,
Glazers out is trending too.
Yeah, that's the big one. We did a little bit of a TikTok live before we started this up, and I don't know if any of you guys were on watching that, but I said I think they should get rid of Ole, bring in a manager who has pedigree, has the ability to attract top talents, but they need to give that manager then years to get this club back to where they should be.
It needs to get a full rebuild.
But what top talents is gonna want to join Manchester United in this situation right now? You're gonna have to go a few bars below.
That is true. You need to find players who are Bs, let's say, and grow them into As. You can't go out there and expect to sign Mbappe. That's not happening.
Yeah, you're not gonna sign another Paul Pogba again.
No.
It's like, and apparently United don't like dealing with agents like Mendes, which is Bruno Fernandes' agent, and obviously they don't have a good relationship with Raiola at the moment.
Bruno Fernandes is a deal they need to get done. Like, as we speak, it seems to be they've reached an agreement of £55 million, but it's still being held up because I don't know.
It's questionable. But
United just seem to not want to spend that extra £5 to £10 million to get the job done. I mean,
which I think they just need to do right now.
Just get it over with.
Yeah.
You know, you're not the top club anymore. You're gonna have to pay a little extra to get the top talents, like Lucas said there. But I don't know. I don't know who they can. You know, we keep saying, "Oh, if Pochettino's still available, Pochettino." Well, does Pochettino want this job?
Probably not.
Like, it seems like a vile, toxic place to work. I gotta be honest.
I mean, he probably was not enjoying time at Spurs towards the end because of, I don't know, players revolting maybe, or just the end of the era of Tottenham there.
I know there was a interview with Jose Mourinho, and he said when he was there, he didn't know what the club's goal was. He didn't know what their plan was for the next few years. So when he said before he went to Spurs, he asked the question of, what do you want? Like, where do you want to be? What do you see yourselves as? How do you want to get there? You know, I don't want to take a job where you don't know where you want to be, kind of thing. Which, I mean, if United don't know where they want to be or how they're going to get there, that's big issues.
Yep.
You're supposed to be a top club.
It
definitely starts at the very top. The Glazers, Woodward, the board of directors, whoever's in charge of making the signings. Because I don't think Solskjaer's in charge of signings. Whoever's in charge of that, get them out of there. They're ruining this club.
It's not good.
Yeah, it's just a mess right now, and something needs to change. What are we moving on to?
Well, that was a good discussion. I did enjoy ripping into United a little bit, but I want to go back to talk about Everton and Newcastle.
Yeah.
I thought this one was one of the most exciting games of the week.
It was a crazy one.
I mean, a great ending.
Yes.
Big man Moise Kean finally gets his first goal for Everton. It seemed to mean a hell of a lot to him.
I mean,
it's good to get that monkey off your back.
His reaction was huge, 100%.
I mean, when you're having a lot of expectations, you come for a high price, and then people like Liam are slagging you constantly. Then
I don't think Moise Kean's really paying attention to what I say about him, but sure.
Well, there's probably a lot of people who say similar stuff to you on social media, and
especially after his time with Duncan Ferguson, where he was brought on as a substitute and then brought off 20 minutes later, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, I'm sure his ego and his character has taken a lot of battering over the past few weeks and months, but it's good for him to get a goal, and it seemed to be a big goal for Everton. It seemed to be flying high to get a big victory here.
Yeah.
Because after him, the man, the myth, the legend, Dominic Calvert-Lewin,
Lucas's favorite player,
loves him. He makes it 2-0 for the Toffees.
Was it a good goal?
It wasn't bad. It was a good touch.
Like, how was it? Can you explain the goal to me?
I can read the official
Okay,
thing
never mind. Don't worry about it. I don't want to read someone else's notes.
Sorry.
Lucas just hates.
I did not watch this game live, Lucas. I do apologize.
Okay, neither did I. Only went back and watched the last 2 minutes because that's
There
where the
you
real
go.
action is.
There you go.
Which we're gonna get to.
Yeah, so
right
if you were expecting a good analysis of this entire match, I apologize, but we were watching other matches during this time.
It's the last 5 minutes that really matter.
Oh, it matters because as you can probably tell if you paid attention to the Premier League, Newcastle scored in the 94th minute.
What's that face for?
Lucas, what would you consider a good amount of goals for a center forward this season?
I know Calvert-Lewin scored a lot.
Okay. So, Calvert-Lewin has 10 goals this season.
In the Premier League?
Yes.
I thought he had more.
He's got 10. Do you know how many goals Bobby Firmino has?
That's what I knew you were gonna
7.
bring up. But he's got wingers.
I'm not comparing
I'm
these
not
two.
gonna bite into you.
I'm
Liam.
not
I am
comparing
not
these
biting.
two. I just looked at his,
Liverpool has wingers that score. Though,
Top of the league.
I just looked at his 10 goals. What does Firmino have? 7. Okay.
Top of
I
the
saw
league.
that face of yours, and I was just like, something's coming here.
That's okay.
All right.
Keep going on, Lucas.
I mean, yeah, Newcastle scored late. 2-1. You think, it's too little, too late, right?
But what a good goal it was by Lejeune.
Nice pronunciation.
Bicycle kick by the big man. You like to see it.
Yep.
But then another chance for Newcastle straight away for some reason.
95th minute, the ball gets flung into the box and absolute pandemonium chaos ensues. It looks to just somehow ricochet and stay out. However, the watch says the ball crossed the line, goal.
Because Pickford was well behind the goal line.
Pickford was in his own net. He does make the save, but he's in his own goal. The ball crosses the line. It's 2-2.
And absolute
Scenes.
Scenes at Goodison.
Ancelotti pissed off.
Which he should be.
But he also said after the game that he's okay with it because he's lost Champions League finals after being 3-0 up. And I was like, you did.
I mean, I think he's trying to make his
He's
players...
deflecting,
Yeah.
I also love the tweet from the Everton fan who left the game with 5 minutes to go. He's on the trade. He goes, great win, big time, buzzing. And someone goes, it's 2-2, mate. He goes, no. But yeah.
Unfortunate.
I mean, how is Bruce doing this?
It's big game Bruce.
Big game Bruce.
This is not a big game.
It is when you're relegation fighting. They're not relegation fighting, though.
Well,
They're
for now,
not.
yeah.
They're not.
And going to Everton's you think is a upper mid-table
I mean, I
team.
guess they're tied
They're
with
tied
points.
for points, yeah.
So I guess it...
But-
I guess
but
every
on,
game for Newcastle
on
is
paper,
big.
when you think of
There are-
Everton, you
There
think
are 5 teams tied on 30 points right now.
this is nuts.
No, but Everton seem to be getting a bit more play style under Ancelotti. Seem to be getting more results. Ever since Duncan Ferguson
Are they really
came
getting
in.
results
I
lately?
mean,
Like,
they were losing almost every game before. Then they brought in Ferguson. They had a bit of a bounce. Ancelotti comes in. He seems to have got a little more settled, let's say.
a win versus Burnley,
Yeah.
a win versus Newcastle, then they lose to Manchester City, then they lose to Liverpool's kids, they defeat Brighton 1-0, tie West Ham 1-1, and now tie Newcastle 2-2.
So not the greatest.
That's not terrible.
It's not inspiring, but it's
No.
also...
It's better than what you're doing before.
Yeah.
It's survival. They'll survive this
Well,
season.
that's what you were saying. I think when
Yeah.
you brought him in, just survive this
and then
season
start again
restart.
next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring in some players, bring in some new ideas, start over.
But they're playing Watford and Crystal Palace in their next 2 matches.
Those are both tough games.
They need to win those because
every game in the Premier League
'cause
is tough right now.
After those 2 matches, Arsenal, Manchester United, Chelsea, Liverpool, and you could say that 3 of those matches may not actually be that difficult.
Arsenal and United are who knows. what
Arsenal and
happens.
United might be easier
and
than
it's
Watford.
and it's Chelsea at home. Well, Chelsea away, I guess, but at Stamford Bridge, which they haven't been great there.
You never know. You never know, honestly. But for Newcastle, huge point rescue. 2 goals right at the very end.
That could
Those
be
are the results that keep you up.
That could be a massive point
Yeah.
in the end of the season.
It's great momentum into their match against Oxford United.
You'll have to see it. But I mean, that's 2 goals from someone who you would never think to score goals. It's clutch performance by your players who are getting the best out of what they have, kind of thing.
Yeah, they definitely work hard. Like
Yes.
Which is what you want.
You could question many Newcastle players in the past handful of years of not working hard enough, not really wanting to be there. But these players definitely are working for the manager and giving their best. Some of them may not be that talented, but
When you work hard, you're going to get results.
Sometimes you're just that bad where even if you work hard.
Hard work is more important than talent.
That's how Liverpool is, in my opinion.
Liverpool have talent.
Of course they have talent.
We're not denying that. I mean, they work hard.
I'm just saying they work hard and they get results based on that.
Talent plus hard work helps.
Motivational speeches right there. Let's talk.
Listen up, kids.
Let's talk about another match though that had
from today.
From yesterday.
Okay.
That had huge implications. Bournemouth, Brighton.
Liam loves this one.
This is a huge game.
Remember what I said last podcast, Liam?
That they had to beat Brighton?
They had to beat one of Brighton or, I think, Aston Villa. Mm-hmm. And they got the win.
Yeah.
They did. It was a huge win.
I believe in Bournemouth again. My belief is still there.
Okay. I'm happy for you.
How about you?
I'm still not sold. One game does not define a season.
You're not wrong, but it helps a lot, really.
A 3-1 victory over Brighton at home is a huge result for them. Harry Wilson with a goal, Pascal Gross with a goal, and Callum Wilson finally gets on the score sheet again.
An own goal.
No, he scored later on.
Well, it says own goal here.
For the second one.
Yeah.
The third one was Callum Wilson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Callum Wilson does score.
What were you saying, Greg?
Well, he got it. It was an own goal.
The second one was an own goal.
Yes, that's
but technically, it was not him. But he gets a third one himself.
Yes.
Callum Wilson gets a third one.
Yes.
Whatever.
We're saying the same thing, just different ways.
Yes.
But yes, it ends 3-1. Aaron Moy just get a consolation goal at the end. Callum Wilson, huge, he's back on the score sheet. Hopefully he can get fired up again and get going, scoring goals, because they quite literally rely on him.
Mm-hmm. Did you get to watch this match or not?
I saw the highlights of it. I didn't watch the full one. I watched a bit of the second half. I thought Bournemouth were not terrible. They had press. They had some energy to them. Then again, Brighton aren't exactly the top of opposition.
And I guess Bournemouth do better against clubs that keep possession, and Brighton is that type of club. Yeah. Like if you look at recent results against recent wins they've had or recent good results, the Chelsea victory, obviously Chelsea like possession, Arsenal draw, Arsenal like possession. So maybe there's something to this. Maybe
they like to counterattack.
Maybe they play better against the teams higher up the table.
They are a quick, pacey team, so the counterattack does suit them a little bit. But no, that's a huge result. Yeah.
Nothing else.
Keeps Eddie Howe in the job for another week.
Are you worried about Brighton?
I mean, they are down in 15th. They are only 2 points ahead of relegation, but they haven't been terrible. They're only a -7 goal difference. They're not bad.
I mean, there's more to life than goal difference, Liam.
Yes, but I'm saying they can at least score a few goals.
Yes. Yeah, like they don't concede as many as Villa.
Yes. I think Brighton are going to be okay. They'll be close, but they'll be okay this year.
Mm-hmm.
I still think you can't call the relegation.
It's going to be tight as hell. I think the relegation battle is going to be more interesting than the top right now because the top seems to be dead, kind of settled.
Number one's over.
Yes, we know that.
And at least Brighton, they're trying to play a nice style.
Yeah, Eddie Howe has his style. He has his play philosophy. Now, yes, that might result in, close to relegation or relegation itself, but at least he's sticking to it. He's going, this is how we play. This is our philosophy. We stick to it.
I was talking about Brighton.
Oh, they said Bournemouth. Right?
No.
Yeah, he said Brighton. I was wondering why he was mentioning Eddie Howe.
Yes,
Brighton do what they do. Graham Potter. It's not bad. I don't mind him as manager.
I mean, what you're talking about with Bournemouth isn't wrong, but just
I thought you said Bournemouth. Sorry.
He said Brighton. So.
Too many bees.
All right, what's next, Liam?
Villa Watford.
Another last minute.
Love it. This is a great game. I watched this. This is a fantastic game. It starts off with Troy Deeney being an absolute shithousery.
You do love the relegation battles.
It's great.
They're great games.
Great. Troy Deeney, big Birmingham City fan, hates Villa, scores and just in front of the crowd, he's soaking up the hatred. You love to see it.
Yeah.
I like Troy Deeney. He's just big center forward, got the pace, got the power. It's a good finish by him. I mean, he's just bundled over the line kind of thing.
But was he celebrating a little too much?
Possibly. Because there was a substitution made in the 56th minute that changed this game.
What was that?
Douglas Luiz came on for Villa. And quite frankly, I'm going to go win this game today. So he scores a goal, 68th minute. Good finish. Good finish, Lucas. You'd be happy about this one. He's in the box. He would. He was in the box. Good finish. Slots at home, 1-1. Scenes at Villa Park.
Good for him.
Lucas isn't impressed.
Why would we not be impressed? Lucas doesn't score that many goals.
Which Lucas?
Wow.
Lucas.
I think
You,
it means
Lucas.
you.
I'm calling you out right now.
I scored more goals than you.
Yeah, you should. I'm fat. But at the very
Big game
end,
tonight.
the game goes on. The game goes on. Villa are getting more and more possession, more and more chances. Watford seem to be sitting further back. Soaking up pressure, but chances are coming. And right at the very end, 95th minute, Tyrone Mings, the big man, powerhouses it in, back of the net, 2-1 Villa. Huge point.
Yeah,
Massive.
I tuned in the last few minutes to see that goal, and
Yeah.
the coaching staff going nuts.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was great for them.
It should be. This is a massive game.
I mean, yeah, a huge amount of stress for both clubs, and getting a result like this means that you're a little more safer than you were the day before.
No.
And any victory, it's massive.
Yeah.
It's a...
Especially over someone right down beside you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, if we look at the table there, Watford are in 19th now, down in 23rd points, and Villa are out of the relegation zone, 25 points.
Is the Great Escape still on for Watford?
Yes, because they have the man.
You believe?
I do believe.
I think so.
I think Watford have decent players. They need to just perform, and they need to step up to survive this season. For Villa, that's a huge result if they can now stay out of the bottom three. They have Jack Grealish, who could potentially just keep them up.
They signed a new striker, Samata. I think he played for Genk or Ghent.
You never know. He could be someone to pop in with a handful of goals, save their season. He could be. But no, Tyrone Mings is a good defender. I think he's someone that they can rely on in the back. I don't hate Villa. I don't. I think Villa are all right.
I mean, I'd hope you don't hate the
They
team.
do concede a lot of goals, though. They do concede a few too many goals.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next, Liam?
Let's go.
Palace Southampton.
Sure. That works for me.
Lucas, that work for you?
I mean, we can talk about it quickly, yeah.
Well-
Quickly, it's a huge result.
I mean, I don't have too much to say about
2-0
this match.
Southampton over Palace.
Yeah.
Goals from Mr. Nathan Redmond and Stuart Armstrong.
It's
Did you
just
see
show-
Armstrong's goal?
It's just showing Southampton how good they are
Yes.
right now.
Did you see either of these goals, Lucas?
I think I saw Armstrong's goal.
Bangers. Both of them were absolute bangers outside the box. Big hits.
I mean, I think I saw Armstrong's goal, and I thought, Liam's gonna be happy.
Stuart. He's got nice hair.
But I don't know. I'm not really surprised Southampton are this high up in the table.
They have a good manager.
I always believed they had a good
Ralph.
manager, and
Ralph Hasenhüttl.
Everyone
got
was-
them up to 9th.
everyone was writing them off when they were in the relegation zone
Here's
earlier
the
in the
thing,
season.
Lucas. Here's the thing. It's very simple. When you lose 9-0, your club can just disintegrate. But players can lose their mentality. They can lose any gumption they have. They can't fight. But they've turned it around. They've been able to get back on track, get back to their play style, get back to who they want to be, and credit to all credit to the manager.
No, but when results like that happen, sometimes that jump starts players and
Yeah,
teams like that.
it's like,
and
hey,
they can-
don't embarrass us, kind of thing, right?
I mean, I think more of the change happened after the international break. I read somewhere that Southampton, they changed their system back to what they used last season after November. I think it was more of a I don't know. I think it's like a 4-2-2-2. Or I guess it's like a 4-4-2 shape, but it's has some variant.
yeah.
But there's great pieces in the squad. There's some players that are more of the hard workers, maybe not the most talented players ever.
But there's some good players on that. James Ward-Prowse, really good player.
Yeah,
He is.
there's some good system players in this team right now. Shane Long seems like he's one of those. Danny Ings, even though he didn't start
He
last
was
night.
rested this game, yeah.
I do like Obafemi.
Yeah.
I remember watching him a few seasons ago and seeing some promise from him, and he's only 19. So
I mean, with Vestergaard and Stevens, you have two center backs who have Premier League experience. They know what to do. They're not great, but they know what to do. Yeah. But for Crystal Palace, that's a huge loss for them because they started off the season very, very well. They have dropped off the past few weeks though.
Yeah.
What?
you remember Chris Kamara
Yes.
and his gaff on Soccer Sun?
Yes.
Whatever that was.
Yes.
He had another one apparently
Did he?
with Michael Obafemi.
Okay.
He mistaken him for Obafemi Martins.
Fair enough. Chris Kamara does what Chris Kamara does. Oh,
Wow.
for Chris Kamara, what happened? I don't know, Jeff. It's been a red card. I don't know. It's a great
I
clip.
thought he got subbed off.
Yeah, I thought there was a substitution, Jeff. No, it's a great clip. But for Palace, they are not performing the best. I mean, that's them down now to 11.
They just tried Manchester City.
They were in 6th a handful of weeks ago.
Would you ever expect Crystal Palace to be in 6th?
No, because Roy Hodgson's their manager. I'm surprised they're even in the top half of the table.
So give them credit.
Yes, I am. But I'm saying their results have slipped.
This was a massive game, but Southampton have been better in my opinion.
Away from
recently.
home is a huge result for Southampton.
Yes.
Southampton has 6 wins away from home.
That's pretty good.
That's fantastic for a team.
Pretty
like
good.
That.
Did that just come
Ralph.
out of your brain?
Oh, I just saw a stat.
Statman
earlier.
Greg.
So it did
Ralph.
come out of your brain.
What game you want to talk about next, Lucas?
I really want to talk about Leicester versus West
Let's
Ham
do it.
because this does involve the top 4 team,
Yes, it
but also
does.
the relegation battle.
Yes, it
because West Ham, they're in danger again.
I like this game though because it's a team that you wouldn't expect to be so high in the standings, and then it's a team you wouldn't expect to be low in the standings.
I really enjoyed this match too.
It was not too bad, yeah. I watched most of it.
Yeah, Leicester were looking very good in the first half. They were up 2-0 and
Probably could have had a few more.
yeah, they created several chances where I don't know. Okay, there's some times where do you notice they just either Madison or Barnes they try to dummy the ball,
Yes,
but then
it doesn't work out.
it doesn't go anywhere near the player.
Yeah.
I feel like they do that so often.
I think they almost tried to overcomplicate the scenario and try to look really, really good, which, I mean, let's say 8 out of 10 times it comes off for them and they look fantastic. But there's times where it's like, hey,
What are you doing?
Just keep it simple.
Yeah.
Get the ball, work it forward. You have a fantastic finisher, Jamie Vardy and Madison and Barnes and everyone else around you. Just finish the play.
Yeah, but unlike Manchester United, Leicester have some great offensive fullbacks.
They do.
And they get involved in the play so well.
I love Pereira.
I do too.
Yeah. Ricardo, yeah.
I've been saying this for a while. One of the best right backs in the world.
Ben Chilwell.
He's okay.
I think Pereira,
Pretty
honestly,
good.
is been one of the best in the Premier League this season, 100%.
I agree.
Like, his attacking work rate is fantastic. Defensively, he has the pace to get back. He just seems to be a full package right back right now.
Yeah, he has some weaknesses defensively, but it's not bad compared to
Who
other
cares?
fullbacks.
The modern day fullback doesn't care about defending, Lucas. We're just all out attack.
I mean, if you can produce what he did today with a great goal, then
It's a great finish by him.
The
Absolutely.
fullback just scoring every game.
It was a banger though. He hit that thing with some venom behind it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna finish this. He was like, okay, man, have a hit, son. He did.
yeah. And,
2-0.
but at halftime, David Moyes is like, okay, I need to make some changes. Okay.
Damn, boys, oh my god, fucking West Ham.
So yeah, they take off Snodgrass, who was injured, and they take off Masuaku, and they bring on Antonio, and who was the other guy?
Yeah, they brought on Mikel Antonio and Pablo Fornals.
Yeah, so
Mikel
Antonio,
Antonio,
he goes up top.
he's a B-Tech version of Adama Traore. He's a big man as well.
I see differences, but
I'm just saying physically, Lucas, he's a big man.
he is big, but he
is big.
No, but the front two, they went to a front two with Antonio and Haller. It actually works. Because Haller's good, Antonio's good. Together, they become pretty decent.
How do you go from good to pretty decent?
Because
Liam
I think you just went down.
they're like 6 out of 10. Come together, we're an 8 out of 10.
what you said before is like good plus good equals decent.
Pretty
Yeah.
decent.
I think decent's below good.
I don't know. It's a bit all over the place. But you know what I mean. They're both above average. They become even more above average. You get it.
Haller with the right surrounding is way better than average.
Get off your Haller horse. Keep talking about the game,
Am I
Lucas.
wrong? Look at Frankfurt last season.
Talk about the game,
So
Lucas.
how bad has West
I
Ham
mean-
been this season?
Yes, thank you, Greg.
I mean, in the first minute, Antonio gets a great chance to
Yes, he
score,
does.
but then Ndidi makes a mistake, takes down.
Haller.
Oh yeah, it was Haller, and it's a penalty for West Ham.
And
They're
the thing is,
back in the game.
He took him down when the ball was going away from goal. There was no need to make a challenge. It was a stupid play. But yes, he goes through him, and it is a penalty shot for West Ham.
And Noble makes it 2-1.
Mark Noble down the middle. Cool, calm, collective.
And West Ham, they start to pressure a little bit more,
Yeah.
but
But that pressure opened up chances for them for Leicester City to go on the counterattack and go through. But the big talking point, Lucas, you missed it. Jamie Vardy.
Oh, that was in the first half.
Yeah, you missed it.
You could have
Or did you
mentioned
miss it?
I'm sorry.
Or did I miss it?
I think we all missed it.
I didn't miss it. I was
Jamie
waiting for one of you to bring
Vardy
it up.
Jamie Vardy goes to clear the ball with his left foot out of the box. And upon kicking the ball, he immediately grabs his left hamstring and he goes down. It does not look good for Jamie Vardy. His party's put on hold.
Liam, you've had hamstring injuries in the past, right?
I believe so. Yes, I have. Yes.
So, what's the pain like when you initially get that injury?
I don't know if I've done like the full hamstring like he has. I've definitely pulled my hamstring. It hurts a lot, but I mean, it's one of those things that you feel, I can just run it off, or I feel I can just get on with it. But no, you lose your hamstring. You can't move.
And like, how's the recovery process?
Well, just time. You can't really do much about it. You just gotta rest it.
So you're pretty much just laying there on your bed.
Sure. I don't know. I mean, sure.
Where is this coming from?
I'm asked because I know he's been injured.
Medical diagnosis
Lucas,
here.
what about you? You should know this.
I've never had a hamstring injury like that before.
That's
done my hamstring
unfortunate.
A few times. I've done my groin a few times.
So I wanted a perspective
No,
of
I mean-
an amateur footballer.
I mean, I don't think I've done...
Amateur.
He is
There's
an
a
amateur.
much below amateur football. Amateur footballer, I would consider like League 4 England.
That's more semi-pro.
Shut up. Shut up. No, but Vardy could be out for a considerable amount of time because usually hamstrings are about a month to 2 month injury. So does this really affect Leicester's attack, or will they be okay with them with Iheanacho going up top?
It depends how. I think it's how the players around him. I think Iheanacho fits in that system quite well. I think he showed it in this match where he got into good spaces. He didn't quite get his shots off on a few occasions, but
Yeah.
he definitely has that intuition of where the right place to be. And I think if the Leicester players around him are creating quick movements and great passes, I think they'll be fine, especially with Ndidi seemingly back now.
Yeah.
I think
The thing is, how I see it though, is Vardy did so well for them early that he got them in a spot where they can just try and hold it.
I don't think Iheanacho is going to replace Vardy's goal scoring form because Vardy's been brilliant this year, but Iheanacho is not a bad guy to have up front. He's a decent goal scorer.
Leicester still has a good team. It's not just Vardy.
Yeah, I 100% agree. No, I think Leicester will be okay moving forward. They need to just keep up the momentum, and they need to keep on getting results, especially against teams below them, like West Ham.
Now, West Ham, though, are you worried about them?
Going down?
Yes.
I mean, they are in 17th. They are tied with Bournemouth and Watford on 23 points. I have said before, and
I don't think
will
West
say it
Ham
again.
will go down.
West Ham are definitely contenders to go down because I don't think David Moyes is the man.
And let's look at
I don't think they'll go down.
Well, let's look at their next upcoming schedule in the Premier
They
League.
have a tough fixtures, don't they?
Yeah, so in the Premier League, they play Liverpool on next Wednesday. They play Brighton at home, so that's probably a must-win match.
Did you know, Greg? West Ham is the only team Liverpool have not beaten this season in the Premier League.
Because
They haven't played them yet.
yeah.
Yeah, then they play Manchester City.
What if West Ham beats you twice?
Then I'm going to be embarrassed and have to... Well, luckily it's on a Wednesday, so I won't be having to talk about it.
Well, we'll talk about it.
But Manchester City. Then they play Liverpool for a second time. And then Southampton, Arsenal, Wolves, Spurs, Chelsea.
That's a tough run.
Yeah, that's all the way to the beginning of April.
That's a tough run.
So their end of season schedules.
Can they do it though?
I don't think so. I think West Ham will be a team that's definitely right around relegation.
Oh my day! I'm really worried
Oh my
about.
days!
I'm really worried about West Ham, honestly, and I predicted them to be around.
We all
really
had them
high.
around mid-table.
I think mine was a bit more mid-table.
Don't
The thing
trust
is,
Haller.
they have good players.
They
It's
have
just
all
not-
right players. Their midfield's weak.
Their midfield's slow.
Slow. Yeah.
Noble and Rice.
You can work hard, but if you're very slow,
Yeah.
you're gonna get killed in the Premier League
Yeah.
or
I
any
know.
league really.
I just don't think David Moyes is the right guy to appoint, especially when you are so close to relegation. I just don't think he's the guy.
And how disastrous would that be for West Ham? With that big stadium, that is a disaster in the first place.
Yeah, the London Stadium has been an absolute, just terrible moment for West Ham.
They left the Bowling Ground to be this, become a big club in the future. That's why they went into that new stadium. But since they've left, things have been
downhill.
Crap.
Yeah.
And if they get relegated with that stadium, if they get relegated with that fan base, with that, I guess the amount of money they've spent in past years.
I mean, but you've seen it happen. You've seen clubs, go down the championship like West Brom, like Fulham, like, Swansea, QPR, Cardiff, Derby,
big
Huddersfield, Stoke, bigger teams.
But I think this is different than those.
I think West Ham is bigger.
Yeah. Probably, they are, yeah. But it's just...
Like, imagine watching championship matches with the London Stadium with, 20,000 people in it.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people are in the matches nowadays, but...
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's more... I think the more I look at it is the players are not going to stick around. You're going to lose a lot of your key players. Because who's going to want to play in the championship? Not Declan Rice.
And we know how West Ham fans have been in the past. Remember when they've invaded the pitch, took the corner flag and stuck it in the middle?
Yeah, they had issues with their owners. They've had issues with players and managers and everything. I find it funny, though, because Slaven Bilic is currently top of the championship. He's going to come up. They're going to go down. Should never have sacked Slaven Bilic. He's a great manager for them. He was.
He was good for that first season, for sure.
He was good. I like Slaven. Plus, he had Dimitri Payet. He kind of helped.
All right, definitely helps. All right, so there's one more match left, I think?
Yes. The Leicester game does end 4-1. We never did say the last two goals, but Ayoze Perez had a brace in the end.
Good job, Ayoze.
Yes, 4-1. Now, there's a couple games remaining to talk about. Let's talk about Tottenham Norwich City.
Yeah.
It ends 2-1 for Spuds.
Greg, give your analysis.
Well, I missed the first half, but the second half, Norwich were pretty good, and Spurs were Spuds.
Spurs were
bad.
Dele Alli does open the scoring 38 minutes in, but is cancelled out by a Timu Pukki penalty in the 70th minute.
Yeah.
And then Heung-min Son rescues all points.
That was such a scrappy goal.
Spuds.
It was so lucky, the fact that they were able to even win that game.
Spurs get the result. Spurs get the win. Norwich, unfortunately, probably should have gotten a point, but they missed out on that.
Do you agree with that, Greg?
Norwich definitely should have gotten a point from that.
But I think more than the result in the game, I want to talk about Jose Mourinho. Because I saw one pundit say he's a failed manager at Spurs already.
He hasn't had a summer transfer window.
I agree. I don't think he is.
I'm sorry for jumping the gun.
I don't think he is, but this is what the pundit said. He said...
Who is this pundit?
I don't know who it was. It was just someone I saw.
And it doesn't matter.
It was on the BBC. That's all I know. He said, Mourinho has sacrificed a play style at Spurs that Pochettino had instilled to get results. But now he's not getting results, and he has no play style. So what does he have? He has nothing.
I mean... To be fair, Spurs' play style when Pochettino was here this season was not great at all. And it wasn't entirely Pochettino's fault, but I don't know. I can't really comment on how Spurs are playing because I haven't really paid too close attention to them in the recent matches. I know there's some promising things in the beginning, but obviously that seems like it tailed off.
I don't think Mourinho's a failed manager at Spurs. Like I said, he hasn't had a full transfer window. He's had January, but he needs a summer transfer window. He needs to instill his play style with his players. Plus, I don't think his squad is great.
They still got Christian Eriksen.
Who doesn't want to be there?
Who they brought on, and just you could tell he did not want to play.
Yeah. He's forcing his move through to probably Inter Milan. But no, I look at that Spurs lineup and I go, I don't know if they're top 6 lineup.
I mean, they're very well off right now.
Like Harry Winks.
They have some injury. They have some injuries.
Yeah, I mean the big injury is Harry Kane up front.
I was going to say Ndombele.
Sissoko.
Yeah.
But I heard Lo Celso was good.
Lo Celso was probably one of the better players.
And they had Getson Fernandes come on again. Ndombele was on the bench.
They probably didn't want to risk it.
No.
He's been getting quite a few injuries, and that's mostly probably because the club is rushing him back from injury too quickly, which is stupid in my opinion.
Eric Dyer still just gets the ball and then just passes it backwards.
Yeah.
He'll never try and make a forward pass.
That was Jordan Henderson a handful of years ago.
Last season.
Now he's a probably
world-class midfielder.
Probably going to win the English Player of the Year award.
Oh, English Player. Didn't he already win that?
Did he?
I'm pretty sure he won
Did he win it? English Player of the Year.
I thought you were going to say like the Premier League Player of the Year. I'm like, hold your horses.
No, I'm not going to do that. That's going to go to Sadio Mane.
Or De Bruyne.
Kevin.
Boring. Don't give it to Kevin. It's boring.
I mean,
he's fantastic.
Which
I guess is... Are we already moving on?
I mean,
there's not much to talk about this game. This game was a bit of a snooze fest, if we're honest.
I mean, Greg didn't sleep through it.
I was pretty tired.
He chose not to watch the first half.
Well, I wasn't home yet.
No, he chose not to. Don't expose my lies here, Greg. But yes, let's move on to the final Premier League match that has happened. Manchester City get a 1-0 victory over Sheffield.
Wow, Lucas, you forgot about... That's a pretty big match.
I watched a match, but it wasn't that memorable.
No, it wasn't. 100%, it was not that memorable.
What was memorable about it?
Gabriel Jesus misses a penalty.
No.
I mean, that was pretty memorable.
Henderson.
I mean, he was pretty good.
He was pretty good.
Henderson was great, yeah.
I think he made like 3 or 4 saves that I'm like, holy crap.
It kept them in the game.
For sure. I thought, like, kind of similar to Sheffield's previous match. I thought they did well, like, initially to keep pressure on City in their defensive zone.
They just couldn't finish.
They couldn't really create any chances.
They didn't create anything.
I know Manchester City, especially in the first half, before they got the penalty, they were misplacing passes so often. They were sloppy.
They were very sloppy.
I'm like, this is a Pep Guardiola side. They usually are smooth, crisp, but there's so many passes.
Something's off,
Like I said, Gabriel Jesus does miss that penalty. It's his 3rd miss in the last 6 penalties he's taken.
Now,
do you see Pep's comments?
What did he say?
He said he thinks their new penalty taker is going to be Ederson. Because he says, in training, Ederson is our most clinical penalty taker. He'll take our penalties.
Please do that. That'd be hilarious.
That's so
banter.
I think he's obviously joking.
Right? I don't know if he is.
Did you guys see the Dean Henderson off the line?
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
Yes.
That needs to be retaken.
Probably should be retaken.
It's just inconsistent because they would do that in another game.
Oh, I don't see. The Premier League, I'm not 100% sure what they do. I know with players running into the box.
The rule is, as far as I was aware, the rule is the linesman on the line, the back line, if he has to flag for it, for VAR to look at it.
Yeah, because I think they said in the beginning of the Premier League season, because at the Women's World Cup, they used VAR for that so often, and it was really annoying.
Yeah.
And the Premier League said, we won't do it. We'll let the officials on the field deal with it.
So if the official doesn't see it or he doesn't call it, well, then they don't look at it, which is a bit dumb.
I'm okay with it. And to be fair, it was a crap penalty either way. So
it was a bad penalty.
Even if he was on the line, I think it would have been saved.
Most likely.
Yeah, but Dean Henderson had a great year so far at Sheffield. Of course, he is a Manchester United player. He's someone that maybe they look at next season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But
David De Gea's been napkin.
Sergio Aguero, second half.
Another get out of jail free card.
You struggle with that sentence. You struggled with it last week as well.
I don't know maybe my English is not great.
Lucas,
Polish man.
You were born here.
Polish man.
But yes, Kevin De Bruyne does what Kevin De Bruyne does. An excellent ball across the face of the goal. And Sergio Aguero's there for a very simple tap-in. He's not missing those.
Yes, Mr. I won't say the phrase again. But
what phrase?
The one he was just said.
Well, get out of jail free card?
Yes.
He is. He's that guy you toss on. Well, you don't even toss on. You play Aguero, and you know what? He will score you a goal.
Yeah. He's a clinical striker.
Isn't his form recently like 12 goals in the last 6 matches or something?
Very good, yes.
Like, it's incredible. He always seems like he has a bad relationship with Pep Guardiola. There's always like one occasion in the season where
they just kind of
something's just going off. Yeah.
But then like he comes and just scores so many goals for the club.
I think
he's one of the best of all time in the Premier League.
100%, he's one of the best of all time in the Premier League. I think him and Pep Guardiola are, I don't know if they love each other, but at the same time they respect each other. You know, so
it's probably one of those love-hate relationships. Yeah. But if you're playing for a manager that is that great and
demanding,
and you're one of the most talented players in the world,
it's gonna work out.
For Manchester City fans, it's gonna be a sad day when Sergio Aguero is no longer the guy he is now.
There's talk of him leaving in the summer. I don't think that's a thing, but
that would be a bad idea for them. Yeah. If he's still scoring goals.
Miami.
Why is it always
Everyone's
Miami?
getting linked to Miami. I love it though.
Legit, he's probably...
Supposedly they want to sign him and David Silva at the same time. It's like, Just bring all of Man City over. Let's do it.
I think his contract ends.
Bring John Stones
next year.
He might actually be okay in the MLS. Might.
John Stones. Well, we did. Laporte
was back. Yeah. He ate his chicken meatballs. He's back. Give him power. Big man Laporte.
But he brings so much help to that defense.
Oh, he just a little bit more solidity.
Well, I think Manchester City, they played a 3-back in this match, which definitely, I think that wasn't an accident. Obviously, I think.
I don't think it was an accident. Oh God, guys, we're on a 3-back. What the hell do we do?
But no, because I saw Fernandinho.
Pep just sends them out as like a 4-back, and it just ends up being a 3-back.
Like, what have I done?
Guys, I can't change it. What's going on?
I can't click pause and change formation.
Otamendi did have a bicycle kick attempt in this match, which
Otamendi.
Yeah,
but
it was a great save. So
what I was trying to say before I made that dumb comment, because I think last time they played Sheffield United, it was a different formation. I think, and with Laporte back, I guess they want to solidify more defensively,
100%.
And prevent chances, and they did a good job in that. I think there were a few times where Sheffield had a really good chance.
Yeah. Sheffield only had one shot on goal.
Yeah, but there's like few chances where they had the ball in the box.
They were ready to go and they just couldn't get it.
Yeah. There's one more Premier League game. It has not yet happened. Wolves host Liverpool. This is going to be a good game.
Please win Liverpool.
This will be a good game.
It'll be a great match.
At the Molineux. I see Liverpool edging this one. Maybe a 3-2
What was the last result they played? What was the score?
We beat Manchester United 2-0.
No.
It was 1-0 when with that. But they did score a goal, Wolves, but it was ruled off by VAR.
Yeah, right.
And then the second half really was...
you just...
We defended. We didn't really need a goal. We just defended well. Wolves missed many chances towards the end. Yeah,
I remember.
So
it's a good game.
It's going to be a tough game for Liverpool. Wolves are a great team, and I look forward to this match, and I look forward to the challenge. I hope Wolves gives us a good match, and hopefully we're up for it.
Yeah, hopefully you can raise your levels. You know, you had a good midweek or had a good weekend match, a good result there.
We know Wolves have been good against the big teams. So.
Yeah,
and hopefully we can win, keep that momentum going into Shrewsbury.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, Lucas. Yes, Shrewsbury. Now there was no other domestic leagues this week.
We got some cup matches,
but we have Coppa del Rey.
We'll go through these quickly because we've been.
No. We're not going through any other except one, Lucas.
Okay.
Let's be real here. There's only one to talk about.
I mean, an interesting one for sure.
Yes.
Barcelona almost lost
to Ibiza. Now, if you are not aware, Ibiza is a tiny island off the coast of Spain. They're in the 3rd division of Spanish football. It's just a party island. You go to Ibiza for a weekend and you come back still drunk kind of thing. That's okay, though. So Barcelona go away there. Maybe they were a little drunk, we don't know. But 9 minutes in, Pep Cabella scores to put the hosts in front. Scenes at Ibiza. Scenes. The game goes for an hour. Nothing happening from Barcelona. They've done absolutely jack shit for an hour. 72nd minute, finally, Antoine Griezmann goes, hey, I'm a 100 million euro player. I'm going to score against these guys who are in the 3rd division.
He looks like he'd be someone working in Ibiza.
Yeah, he really does. He looks like a pool boy, I got to be honest. But he makes it 1-1, and finally, at the very, very end, 94th minute, he scores again to win the match.
To be fair, Barcelona probably should have gotten a penalty just before that. I think Ansu Fati got pushed, and the ref's like, nah.
I wouldn't give him a penalty. Give Ibiza the point. Let's go.
Corruption.
Have a replay. But Ibiza goes to the new camp.
But there's a point in this match where Ibiza had, Barcelona had 80% possession, 1 shot, and Ibiza had 5 shots, 20% possession.
Yeah. Ibiza were right in this game. And it's not like Barcelona had a fully rotated side. Yes, they had a little bit, but they had Longley, they had De Jong, they had Rakitic, they had Griezmann playing. Against a 3rd division side.
Does it just show how much they rely on Messi?
They brought on Jordi Alba, Arturo Vidal. These are players that they did not want to have to play in this game. They were like, guys, let's rest ourselves. Coming back to La Liga. Not, hey, we got to win a game against a 3rd division party town. It's It's great, but at the same time, you're like, what the hell is going on in Barcelona?
Yeah. See, one thing that concerns me is I read from Colin Miller, who wrote a book about Real Betis and the Sevilla rivalry, so he knows quite a bit about the Barcelona manager because he was a Betis manager. He said some things here. August 2018, Real Betis 78% possession, Levante 22, result 3-0 Levante.
Yeah.
In April 2019, again against Levante, 72% possession for Betis. Levante wins 4-0.
Possession doesn't mean everything. You have to be positive in possession.
It's what we said earlier.
Yeah, you have to actually do something when you have the ball.
Yeah, he says
you can't just hold on to it.
Yeah, like he said, you can have total control of the ball, but zero control of the game.
Yeah, 100%.
And for a large portion of the match, Barcelona didn't really have control of the match.
You could have 5% possession and win the match 1-0.
Go get a corner and knock it in. There you go. Done. Yeah. Game's over. Another interesting result in Coppa Italia. Real Valladolid, the team that we saw here in Edmonton.
Oh, yeah.
They lost to Tenerife.
I mean, Tenerife's in the second.
Tenerife's also a party city. It's a party island. You'll have to see it, though. But yes, Tenerife go when they win it 2-1 over
Congratulations.
Valladolid.
And Bilbao got pushed to penalties by Elche.
Yes.
Yeah.
Real Madrid gets to get a 3-1 victory over... Let's pronounce this one right here. Unión Estas de Salamanca.
Good job.
Mucho gracias, senor.
Yeah, and Valencia got a hero victory. Not much else to say. I know the Copa del Rey. It's kind of more similar to the FA Cup now.
Yeah.
There's no two. At least from what I know, for most of the tournament, there's no two-legged affairs anymore.
Oh, okay.
And it's just one
Straight
leg.
to penalties.
I think so.
Well, that's too bad for Ibiza. They could not go to the new camp. Wouldn't it be great to play a game with the new camp? Like you're a third division side. Like I'm gonna use like the hot tub, and I'm gonna take my full time to enjoy the amenities at my service.
Like the round before didn't have the top 4 teams in Spain.
Oh, okay, so just they get a bye kind of thing.
Yeah, and then the top 4 teams definitely played against the worst teams that were like worst division sides. So it was kind of fixed in that way, but it almost caused some great upsets.
It almost did.
Very
Barcelona
close.
goes out in the round of 32. That'd be mental.
And like, hey, maybe the Copa del Rey will have magic like the FA Cup did it in the past.
100%. Let's do a little bit of a transfer roundup because there was a few moves.
You don't care about
No, I do not, Lucas.
All right.
We have to start with.
I mean,
Bayern Munich.
Are we not going to talk about them or no?
Who?
Those matches.
What is there to talk about?
the Coppa Italia.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I was
thought we
like,
were talking about that.
they're actually big matches.
Okay, we're having the Coppa Italia.
Well, Juventus beat Roma 3-1. Ronaldo scored.
Okay.
And Napoli played Lazio. And Napoli won 1-0.
So, Liam, Lazio lost, eh?
But it wasn't in Serie A.
Yeah, but...
Basically. Napoli,
we all know Liam doesn't like Lazio.
Napoli will come up clutch against teams they should not beat. like Liverpool and now Lazio. But Lazio also blow it against teams they should win.
I don't know about that, but there's 2 red cards in this match.
Scenes.
Hisage, he got a red card in the 19th minute. And Lucas Leiva got a red card in the 25th minute. So they played 10-on-10 for most of the match.
Lucas Leiva.
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently this was...
Man, the myth, the legend.
Apparently there was a lot of like missed chances post in this match, but somehow ended 1-0. But
so okay, that ended 1-0 for Napoli. What was the Juventus result?
3-1
against
Roma.
I think that's a understandable result.
Buffon scored an own goal.
Buffon the buffoon.
And tomorrow,
who does Inter play?
Inter play Fiorentina next Wednesday.
In the cup?
Yeah, and Milan play Torino next Tuesday.
Both those games are not easy. Fiorentina have not been great this year, but you never know.
There's like no upsets. It's all just the top teams.
You would think, yeah. Yeah.
I think Juventus play the winner of Milan and Torino. But
Juventus or AC Milan would be pretty cool.
But let's move on to the transfers.
Yes, because Bayern Munich signed someone.
What do you think about this transfer? And say what it is.
Don't tell me what to do, Lucas.
Okay, don't do it then.
Let's just sit here.
Read me this transfer, Lucas.
I thought you had it with you.
What was his name? I don't even know how to pronounce his name.
Odriozola, I believe.
It is.
Yeah.
He signed on loan from, or is it a transfer or a loan?
I thought it was a full transfer.
Oh, he went to Bayern Munich.
Yes. We know so much about football, do we not?
Well, I thought you had it prepared, and I guess
no, I
not.
got sidelined by. We're talking about Coppa Italia match that I didn't even know happened.
Yeah, it's a loan. They loaned him.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a right back. He's a right back from Real Madrid. Apparently, he's pretty good offensively, but kind of weak defensively. So.
Well, the thing is, Bayern Munich need defenders right now.
Yeah, they need depth. Their back line is thinner than.
I don't think they were going to be thinking that they had to play Alphonso Davies at left back like all the time.
No, he was supposed to be someone that they could slowly ease into the 11.
But he's playing so good.
Oh, he's playing very good.
No,
nothing taken away from him, but like
he also has TikTok.
Alfonso.
Follow us, Alfonso. We're from your own city.
Represent.
But yeah, so he signs on loan for the end of the season. It's good to have another depth player. Well, it's good to have another defender available for Bayern Munich because they need him. But then again, the rumors are still going around about Jerome Boateng leaving, which I could see happening.
And also, rumor from Sky Germany: Bayern interested in signing Upamecano.
I'm not shocked by that.
Yeah, a lot of teams will want him.
Bayern Munich supposedly are not going to buy Philippe Coutinho at the end of his loan.
Really?
He hasn't been good enough for them.
That'll be interesting. Summer in Barcelona.
Yeah, it will be. Where will he end up?
Also, rumors Willian Jose is asked to leave Real Sociedad and to join Tottenham. I don't know if that's true or not, but Sociedad wants at least 50 million euros for the player.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Supposedly, according to Sky Sports, Manchester United are going to offer 30 million for Jude Bellingham.
If they're not,
ever heard of him? Probably not. He's a 16-year-old from Birmingham City.
There you go. He has 4 goals for them.
What the hell are you? He's played 28 minutes.
No.
Or is it 28 matches?
I think 28 matches.
Matches.
4 goals
He's
in
16,
28 minutes.
30 million. Why?
They're not even willing to pay that a lot for Bruno Fernandes.
This club is just a joke.
Also, Dani Olmo, there's been rumors about him going to a new club. There's AC Milan, Leipzig, and Wolves rumored. Where would you like him to go?
Wolves.
Wolves would be cool.
Not AC Milan.
What about Leipzig?
Leipzig's good right now. So.
I don't know if he'll start. Crystal Palace have signed a gem. 18-year-old Scott Banks from Dundee United.
Is he good?
He's actually not terrible, but I don't know if he's a gem. He's not the worst. Anything else? Let's take a quick look here. Liverpool have become top favorites to sign Timo Werner in the summer if he decides to leave Leipzig. That could be a good choice for you guys.
I mean, if he plays like he did at Leipzig, I would not mind that.
Not last season, but this season.
No, last season he scored. He was good, but he wasn't. I thought he was overrated. Now I'm looking like a fool.
Yes.
We already knew that, but that's okay.
Gareth Bale's agent has ruled out a loan to Spurs. He says loans are stupid, basically. Basically what his quote was. He goes, no one can afford his loan. We don't want a loan. He's not having a loan.
Loans are...
Also...
According to L'Equipe, West Ham are interested in re-signing Dimitri Payet. Bring him back, boys. He could save the season.
But I want to talk about Cavani just quickly.
Yes, where will he end up?
Apparently a big problem is his wages. He
gets a lot of money. He plays for PSG.
Yeah, like here from the Telegraph, Edison Cavani pursuit reaches standoff with Paris Saint-Germain over £12.6 million valuation.
Where do you think he'll end up?
I honestly think because I think he's gonna stay. I don't think they're gonna let him go. Because I know teams that probably are interested: Chelsea, United, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid.
Can get him, yeah.
Arsenal have been rumored.
I know Atletico Madrid were interested earlier this month, but not much has happened from that yet.
Atletico Madrid could really use him because they need another goal scorer. Chelsea could use him.
But he's also apparently asking for a really long contract. I think 3 years.
I don't know if those teams want to do that.
And he's 33 right now.
I mean, Chelsea already went through their saga with Higuain. It didn't really work out. You know, a little bit of an older striker.
Yeah, Cavani's turning 33 in February. Do you want to give him that long of a contract?
No, I'd give him a 1, possibly 2-year contract. But yeah.
But is he not? Would he?
He's still good. He's a good player. He's a good goal scorer.
Or is it time for him to go to Miami?
No.
Yes.
Everyone's gonna go to bloody Miami.
No, Miami.
No, I think he should stay in Europe. I think he has a few more years to give. Chelsea could be a big one.
Chelsea would be a good one.
They don't want
Chelsea or or Atletico.
But that seems like a signing old Chelsea would make.
It does, but again,
I don't know if they want
and maybe Abraham could learn something off of a veteran goal scorer.
I think Atletico Madrid is the best, but yeah.
Probably they could probably afford his wages.
We only wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
Anything else, or
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Went for longer than I thought.
It went for much longer. It always goes for.
It
much
always
longer.
does.
It's supposed to be a quick midweek roundup, but always like let's talk for 13 hours about Manchester United.
And it always happens.
It does.
I blame you.
Pretty much. If you do enjoy this episode, make sure you are subscribed, hit like, comment down below, get involved in the conversations we have had today. Make sure you're following us on social medias. Links are in the description. Our TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, this, that, everything. Links are down below. But from myself, Liam, from Lucas, Greg, and Waz, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching and listening. This has been yet another week in Beautiful Game. See you next time.
As Laporte was eating his chicken meatballs upstairs.
Okay, the what?
I don't know. I saw him eating something. Looked like meatballs.
Who was it?
Laporte.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
the chicken meatballs. Okay.
It looked like some circle, so I assume it's like
Lucas's random fact of the cast. America Laporte was eating meatballs during the match. We can't confirm this.